This ship cost me 15,000 credits and a few ship parts. It's an absolute beast which can punch way above its class, and I'm now going to show you how I built it piece by piece. It's really quick, really simple, and from here you can use this as a canvas to really build on it. And I'm also going to tell you about my choice of weapons and why I chose to go with one weapon rather than using several different ones, because it makes a huge difference. So let's get into it. Oh, and before we start, I am at a killer city. I'm using the ship dealer there because they have some parts that I like, and each ship dealer will have different parts, so do bear that in mind. This particular ship we have captured. I'm going to tear this apart. We're just using this as a basis for us to build this because it looks like you can't build a ship without having a ship already available. We will use various parts. We're going to take this reactor, which is a class A. You can get better reactors, but it's going to cost a lot more. We're also going to take the grav drive because we really don't need to worry too much about that. And we're going to take these two engines as well. On top of that, we're also going to need a habitat module. We're going to need probably, yeah, we'll go with this landing bay. And from here, we'll probably scrap the rest of the stuff. Okay, so we now have these parts. We're going to start off with the landing bay. And from here, we're also going to place on top of this our habitat module. It needs to be at least a 2x1 for this to work. And we're also going to press G and go to our cockpits. I prefer to go for the samurai. We're going to go with the cheapest one. Can we move that closer? Yeah, let's move that further up. It's going to look a little bit podgy on the front end, but don't worry too much about that. Next, we will add our reactor underneath. Now, to get under, what I hadn't realized, you can fidget about with it, but what you can also do is use the F and R keys that will lower the plane that you're working from. You can see this is 1,398 in parts so far. And we're also going to place our grav drive here. We'll then put our engine on the end, and underneath here, I think that's right, we'll place our second engine. From here, we need some dockers. We're going to have the top docker. This needs to be placed on the edge. So we'll put it on the top edge here. I also want to place the landing gear now. With this being a small ship, when it comes to the landing gear, we can get away with just placing two side ones. We'll also do the same on the other side to keep it symmetrical. Where possible, I do like keeping things symmetrical. And with this, we can press Z to flip it like so. Because I like to keep things symmetrical, we'll place one on this side and also one on this side. You don't necessarily have to do this if you're tight on a budget, but it just looks better in my opinion. I think we might swap this habitat module out actually. Let's go with the all-in-one, given that this is going to be a little personal ship. And then the next thing we're going to need is a shield generator of some description. Now we have a huge selection available, but unfortunately because we're going cheap, we're going to be purchasing this one here. And next we need to consider weapons. As you can see at this point, we're only at about 8,000. If you have more cash available, I highly recommend upgrading your reactors. When it comes to weapons, most people choose a ballistic weapon like this lead slinger. You can see there it does 15 damage to the hull and 5 damage to the shield. We also have then the laser cannons, like these pulse lasers. They do extra damage to the shield, but not so much to the hull. You can go with these, but I don't recommend it. Same with the missile launchers. They can do a fair bit of damage, but really, if you're using 3 different types of weapons, you're spreading all of your energy across 3 different weapons. And if you want to have 2 weapons on one slot, 2 on another, and then a single one for your missile, you're trying to balance out power between, 15 power slots when it comes to these up here. And on a cheap ship like this, you really don't have the power available for doing that. So you're going to either have to be constantly balancing your power in combat, which is bad, you've got enough to worry about, or we can go down my route, which is to find a weapon such as this one here, the electron beam. This is actually my favorite weapon in the game at the moment. And what we're going to do with this is just mount one on either side of the fuselage, or I guess it's not the fuselage, the landing gear. And we're going to grab another one here, like so. This is providing us, if we look here, with 26 damage at 3.49, well, one shot every 3.49 seconds, I think that is. The great thing about this is by investing all of our points, our weapon points, into one single weapon, we can max the power out on these, which will increase the fire rate. So though we're currently doing 26 damage per second, not only does it do 26 damage per shot to the shield and the hull, we can increase the speed because we're going to be investing more power into a single unit. But this is it. It is the best ship, really, if you're looking at something really cheap and punchy. You do have to pick your fights, because if you're against lots of enemies, this shield generator isn't going to hold up for long. If you're against 2 enemies, you can normally punch a class above you. What I would recommend if you have more cash is to first improve the shield generator and the reactor. You can also customize your ship. So if we press J here once we click on a module, we can press J, and from here we can change the color of our ship. So perhaps we want something a little bit more poppy with color. Oh yeah, that's looking good. And because I am confident with this particular ship, I am going to head out into space, find a deeper or higher level zone, and we're going to try and pick a fight against some larger ships than us. Let's go hunting. And if you're interested in seeing more hunting and some more ship building, do join me over on twitch.tv/Totalxclipse. After this, we're going to be streaming all of today as I work on new ships and do a bit more exploration. Perhaps we'll even get to Class B ships today. At this point, we are in space. You can see we've got our 2 weapons. If we look at the power situation that's going on here, we can fully upgrade our weapons here. But if we go to 3 power, you'll notice how we're quite slow at shooting. If we increase power to them, we can shoot a lot faster, which makes our system that much more powerful. So if you do have some cash available and you can buy another weapon, if you equip the same type of weapon, you'll actually have 9 power slots available in your particle weapon, which makes it fire very fast. So it would seem that we are being tracked by 2 high level enemies. We're going to see how we fend. With this, the trick is to take out the first ship as quickly as possible. And then you're going to want to get behind the other one. But you can see this is at least a B-class ship. And we are packing some serious punches before the other one could even get in. Just going to avoid them, get under them, and get around them. But all things considered, for 15,000 credits, this is a fantastic early game ship. As this was our first ship build guide and following the whole process, do let me know if you'd like to see more. Perhaps next time we can do a B-class ship or to a certain budget, or maybe a theme of ship. Do let me know in the comments below. Also, why not join me over on twitch.tv/Totalxclipse. now, as I'll be playing all day. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until next time, special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters over on Patreon, most notably our Solar Eclipse patrons, James Owen, Fireless and Treble, as well as our Lunar Eclipse patrons, the Calamity, Ben, Star and That Dude AW, as well as our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Brain Slug. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.